Alright, so it's doing the Mexican Fiesta Cake. And it starts out with 2 cups of flour, that's right?
2 cups of flour.
Okay.
Self-rising flour.
Self-rising? Alright. Alright, 1.5 cups of sugar. Right? Okay. And how much?
That's 2 teaspoons of baking soda.
Okay. And 2 eggs, right?
2 slightly beaten eggs.
Okay. So 20-ounce can of pineapples, right?
In their own juice.
Yeah.
Do not get in heavy syrup.
Okay.
It will not work right in the recipe.
Alright. And how many nuts?
That's 1 cup of chopped walnuts.
Alright. There we go.
Stir. Do not use a mixer. With this recipe, it's technically good for Weight Watchers. You do not have any oil. You do not have water or milk, etc.
Never really thought about that.
This makes a real moist cake, and as you can see, it's very simple to be a homemade cake. Most people really like it. We do later have an icing. I actually like the cake with or without icing. You bake at 350 for how many minutes was it, Jeff?
I'll have to look again. Seemed like it was about 50 or 55.
Bake at 350, 50, 55 minutes.
Yeah, 50.
It all depends on your oven, basically.
Yeah. 50 is what we got wrote down.
I like to use a bundt pan, but you can use just a regular, like a 9 by 13 pan, whatever you prefer.
So this is what it looks like straight out of the oven and straight out of the pan. And we're getting ready for the icing, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, I got the cake out. I put it on a plate. I sometimes buy these little small plastic plates to put inside my cake container. Also, you will notice a lot of times the cake has a ring. I actually like it that way. We're going to do the frosting right now. It calls for 1 stick of butter, and I do have the stove eye on. Put it about medium. It's 4 ounces of cream cheese. You can use a regular mixer, but I use a little handheld blender. It will make the frosting look white. Blend in 1 cup of confectionery sugar.
Come on. It almost makes it look lemony white to me, or something like that, you know.
Some people use this recipe, but they will put 2 cups of confectionery sugar, and it makes the frosting thick, which is your option. But I personally prefer this. To me, it makes the cake not quite as rich, and most people like it. Also, on the original recipe, where I put 1.5 cups of sugar in the cake, the original recipe calls for 2 cups of sugar. So it's what your preference, but to me, the 2 cups makes the cake itself a little bit sweet. But I just take this and smooth it out and let it set. The cake, actually at this point, is still a little bit warm. But it will soak in. The cake is really easy to make, and it's somewhat inexpensive compared to some homemade cake recipes. There you go. It's your Mexican Fiesta Cake.
And there's
also, some people call it I've heard it the Mexican wedding cake. I've heard it called the Mexican fruit cake. So I'm sure there's a lot of different recipes out there.
That's one of the plates that you put under the cake, isn't it?
Right. This just makes it convenient. We're taking this one to church, and if I decide to leave and we still have people that are eating, I can just flip this out of my cake pan and bring my cake cover home and leave the cake at church for people to enjoy.
Well, it's technically called a Tupperware cake taker that you got there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right. There you have it.